17-year-old TRAYVON Martin was walking home from a convenience.
The murder of the unarmed 17-year-old Florida teenager TRAYVON Martin in February 26 triggered a new wave of racial tension in the United States, and as long as the killer George Zimmerman is still free, favored by Florida's Stand Your Ground law, and the local authorities lack in commitment to deeply investigate the case, increases the social outrage in the country, especially among the black community, that quickly gathers in protesting groups mobilized by well-known civil rights leaders, in rallies all over the streets of Sanford. Though if by one hand the stupid death of TRAYVON Martin is mobilizing Americans for social justice, by the other hand it is reigniting the endless racial conflicts in the USA. The internet is clearly reflecting these social tensions, with trolls and all sort of agent provocateurs taking over forums of discussions and blogs of mass popular access, to incite racism, ethnic hate and racial war, and they are unavoidably succeeding because Americans can get along with their social diversity.
It's important that, in America people are allowed to walk down the street without fear of being shot because someone else simply thinks they're suspicious.
But what's happening is that most Americans are failing to look at the whole picture, and realize that a racial civil war is part of the New World Order agenda for the United States. It's pretty obvious that this case is being explored by groups of interest connected to the powers that be, and the whole scenario looks like a blatant psy operation for creating confusion and conflict. Literally divide to conquer. Though, what at first sight seems to be only a false flag for social manipulation, may actually reveal a very creepy event of unspeakable evil, created by the hand of occultist societies that infest the USA. A very odd commentary made in one of the countless threads of discussion about this case, in a conspiracy forum on the internet, immediately drawn my attention because it made a connection between TRAYVON Martin's murder and the Illuminati, and strange as it seems, I saw a video of this very famous talk show on American TV where the host made several comments implying the exact same thing I read in that conspiracy forum. That the Florida kid was killed so that his heart could be donated to the former Vice President of the United States, Dick Cheney, who underwent a transplant 1 month after Martin died. Before you say I'm insane, pay close attention at all details I'm gonna put together from now on. Starting by the talk show.
From another undeserved vacation. My guest tonight, Shaquille O'Neal, I assume fully recovered from St. Patrick's Day. While we were gone, while we were on vacation this past week, a lot went on. There was the usual Republican primary shenanigans. We'll try but fail to avoid talking about that tomorrow. But for the first day back, there were really 2 stories that caught my attention.
NBC News has just confirmed that former Vice President Dick Cheney had heart transplant surgery earlier today.
Greatest joke setup. I can make a whole show out of that. What's the other story?
The controversial shooting death of 17-year-old TRAYVON Martin 1 month ago in Sanford, Florida.
You know, I'm sure, by the way, that is a very different headline in the organ community. Probably something like, innocent heart sentenced to life in Cheney. Boom! Boom! I'm going to get to do a ton of these today.
Martin had gone out to buy candy wearing a hooded sweatshirt, carrying Skittles and an iced tea. A local neighborhood watch captain saw him.
28-year-old George Zimmerman was acting as a neighborhood watch guy.
He followed TRAYVON Martin. He chased him despite the police dispatcher telling him not to.
Heart transplant? Isn't it more of a heart plant when you don't have an original? Hey, I think we have a clip of Cheney selecting the new organ.
appear to have done a very cursory investigation.
So Zimmerman has not been charged with any crime and continues to carry the weapon that killed TRAYVON.
Hey, everybody. Here's my impression of Dick Cheney, surgeon. Removing Cheney's original heart. Ah, it bit me! Oh, son of a... Oh, oh my God! Why does a human heart have fangs? All right, I can't do this. How is this guy Zimmerman not charged with anything? How can the guy still have a gun that he shot this kid with?
George Zimmerman is not under arrest, perhaps in part because of Florida's stand your ground law.
Ah, Florida! I feel like Florida and Arizona are locked in a harms race.
I'm pretty convinced that the host of the talk show was saying the whole time, right in the face of his audience, that TRAYVON Martin was killed to donate a heart to Dick Cheney. Crazy as it seems, I see no other explanation, and assuming that the synchronicity of both events was no coincidence, I applied Kabbalah numerology to their names, and put the results alongside with other eerie details, and what came out of it is astonishing to say the least. Dick Cheney's full name equals 9. TRAYVON Martin's full name equals 6. What is an inverted 9? He got his heart transplant exactly 29 days after Martin died. What by numerology equals 11? Again we see these same numbers so important to occultist Freemasons, and always spotted in tragic events with the hand of the Illuminati. But it doesn't end here. TRAYVON Martin died with the age of 17, and Cheney got a heart transplant with the age of 71. What are the odds of all these occult numbers mirroring each other? Be just a random coincidence.
And when I think about this boy, I think about my own kids.
In my opinion, besides the whole race war psi operation, the legion of racist agent provocateurs inducing the American people into believing that the U.S. government is blowing this case out of proportion for incite racial hate, actually are creating a smokescreen to divert the public attentions from the secret symbols and messages being told by the powers that be, for communicating the Freemasons all over the United States, that TRAYVON Martin was sacrificed. Why Obama mentioned TRAYVON Martin as his own son? According to conspiracy theorists, Barack Obama is a 32-degree Prince Hall Freemason, and if so, perhaps you may understand why he told that, after you take a look at some creepy photos of TRAYVON's father, Tracy Martin, posted on his Facebook page, that already were removed.
But my main message is
As you can see, TRAYVON Martin's father is a Freemason, probably a member of the Prince Hall's order as Obama himself, and if so, the odds of more members of Martin's family being Freemasons are pretty big, as well as the odds of TRAYVON has been killed in an occultist ritual. For the record, I'm not saying that his father took part on it, but he surely paid a terrible price for joining the Freemasonry.
Let's not play this double standard.
And as long as some of these famous civil rights leaders ahead of the rallies in Sanford also are members of the Illuminati Freemason Zionist apparatus, the evidence is pointing out to another tragic event created for ritualistic purposes of evil secret societies that escape the understanding of the masses, are hidden in plain sight. And such societies spare no efforts to manipulate and sacrifice humans, no matter whether they are white people, black people, Latin, Arab, Asian and any other ethnic group of this planet. Unfortunately, they have succeeded big time in countries like the United States, where the people fail and see what is really going on, and are too busy hating each other domestically or making wars with other countries.
The killing of Martin by Neighborhood Watch volunteer George Zimmerman has triggered a wave.
Zimmerman's attorney Craig Sonner is with us now.
Insofar as the race war operation going on through TRAYVON Martin's case grows and finds easy room amid the racist American society, it blinds the people to see the gaps in this whole story. Why the Florida police is lacking in commitment to investigate the crime. Why George Zimmerman is being protected by local authorities. Why he's backed up by expensive law firms. Why there's a massive campaign to denigrate the murdered kid. Why there are so many agent provocateurs taking over the internet for incitate racial hate. Why every detail in this case suggests the involvement of Freemasons. Why there's a flawless synchronicity between TRAYVON's death and Dick Cheney's heart transplant. Why the host of that famous talk show made sure to imply this connection on American TV.
What happens if you don't change the batteries on that thing?
Is it possible that Americans are so blind by their stupid racism that they just can't see things standing right in front of their eyes?
This is what the batteries look like, and they're good for about 10 hours.
Yeah,
it starts to beep when, when I do this, of course, whoever.
I think you should put it back in. Yeah. Back then, Cheney was unsure whether he would ever get a heart transplant.
This has gotten good enough over the years that we've got a lot of people now.